So, a couple of days ago, Toriyama, Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, my favorite franchise of all time, passed away. And I'm going to echo what many of my peers have said, what many of my colleagues have said, what many of my friends have said. And it's that no other celebrity death has impacted me like this. It's been 2 days. I'm still waking up thinking it was a dream. I'm still feeling so much pain, to the point where I am in my car driving somewhere and I'll just break down into just tears. I Toriyama, and specifically his work on Dragon Ball, not just didn't just change my life. It it improved my life. It improved my life. I wouldn't be here on YouTube if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. You guys remember my old channel was Future Gohan SSJ2. Before that was Future Gohan SSJ1. What is that based off of? Dragon Ball. Why did I make YouTube videos? Not these, like the ones we're doing now. Why did I make YouTube videos? What made me join YouTube and say, I'm making YouTube videos? It was Dragon Ball. And again, it wasn't videos like this. For those of you that don't know, I used to do AMVs. That's why the very first channel that nobody knows even existed, which was Future Gohan SSJ1, got deleted. It was because of copyright issues due to AMVs. Then I made Future Gohan SSJ2, which is this channel you're on now, just renamed. And I started again with AMVs until I realized it was going to be it was an uphill losing battle, because they were just going to keep copywriting. They were just going to keep taking channels down of mine. So I stopped. But I ended up rebranding the channel and talking about Dragon Ball, talking about anime, talking about cartoons. And growing up with Cartoon Network, obviously Dragon Ball was unavoidable. My history with that specifically is I was the kind of kid who, if something was really popular, I avoided it. So I avoided Dragon Ball. In fact, my very first memory of Dragon Ball Z was we were on vacation, me and my family. We were at some Silver Resorts Lodge, something like that. And I did what I always did. What, right? While parents are doing whatever they're doing, brother's doing whatever he's doing, I'm watching Cartoon Network. And I remember specifically, funny enough, begging my mom to change the channel. Because again, I wanted to avoid Dragon Ball because it was so popular, and I'm not going to like popular things. And it was Goku as a Super Saiyan fighting Frieza on Namek. It was before the destruction of Namek started to make everything red and full of lava. It was still them fighting in the air shortly after Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time. And it became unavoidable because I finally fell in love with Dragon Ball due to being bored one day as a young kid, wanting to play a new fighting game, and I got into Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit on the PS3. Then I enjoyed that game so much, I went and I played Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the PS2. And the rest is history, because immediately after I beat that game, I went to Walmart and I bought the Dragon Ball Z Season 1 Orange Brick DVD set from Funimation. And I've been a fan since. It was an immediate falling in love. Immediate. It was... Again, I went from being a Naruto fan who, didn't really like Dragon Ball too much, tried to avoid it because it was so popular, blah, 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 to, my God, what was I missing? And why was I missing it for so long? It got to the point where in high school, I would go to the library and pick up Toriyama's manga. And I fell in love with Dragon Ball even more when I read his manga. If any of you guys out there love Dragon Ball like I do, or if any of you guys out there are fans, right, of the anime, please pick up the manga and give that a read. It is my favorite, it is my preferred way to experience Dragon Ball is the manga, right from the pen of Toriyama. But I've found it very difficult to watch Dragon Ball over the course of the past few days. It's hard for me to watch Dragon Ball and not tear up right now. It's hard for me to listen to Dragon Ball music and not tear up. And I want you guys to know that it's an impossibility for me right now. I am literally surrounded by Dragon Ball. You guys have seen my room. I've got Goku figurines everywhere. I've got one of the biggest Dragon Ball Z collections of home media releases on the internet. I have put tens of thousands of my own money into my Dragon Ball collection. And you know, my Dragon Ball collection started because of my love of the series. But it eventually got to the point because I had friends who would reach out in concern, while all at the same time poking fun, right? But still a lot of concern there as friends. Of, man, you know, why do you continue to buy the same series over and over and over? Because, guys, I own Dragon Ball from beginning to end, including Z, including GT. I own it on VHS twice. Edited tapes, uncut tapes. I own it on DVD, 4 times over, right? Because you've got the Funimation singles, you've got the orange bricks, you've got the Dragon boxes, you've got the Ultimate Uncuts, right? You have Kai, you had, so much on DVD. Not to mention the movies. There was the steel books that came out that Funimation released. There were the big sets. Anyways, and the manga too. I've bought the manga multiple times over. And I've had friends ask me, you know, well, why do you already own it, right? I already have Dragon Ball Z, the orange brick sets, you know, that I bought at Walmart. Well, why do I need the Dragon boxes? Well, why do I need the Blu-rays? Well, why do I need the Funimation single DVDs? Well, why do I need the Ultimate Uncuts? A lot of it was because I was a collector and I wanted to collect, right? But over time, there was a piece in my mind, way in the back, that told me that every time that I bought something Dragon Ball related, right? Because, you know, because Dragon Ball is Toriyama's, if I buy a DVD set for $20, a fraction of that money, even if it's just 1/100th of my money, it's going to Toriyama. It's going in his pocket. And I never had, and now will never have the opportunity to tell Toriyama thank you for everything he ever did to me, for me, and did to me too. Changed me. Love going to the gym now because of Dragon Ball. Love working out. Love always pushing myself to be better because of Dragon Ball. And anyways, because I'll never be able to thank him man to man, face to face, shake his hand. And I kind of knew years ago that would never happen. I think me continuing to want to buy Dragon Ball products that I've loved, that I've owned already, and continuing to buy the newer versions, the newest Blu-rays, the next DVD, the newest remaster, even though I know I didn't need it. I wanted it again as a collector, but also that was my way. That 1/10, 1/100th of whatever, DVD set I bought, the little bit of my money that went into Toriyama's pocket was my way of telling him thank you. I never got to say it. Those words never left my mouth and reached his ear, unfortunately. But on the flip side of that is, again, I feel I was able to help put some money in Toriyama's pocket, and that was my way of saying thank you to him. Again, I wouldn't be. Oh my god, I weight train. I weight train with wrist weights and ankle weights because of Dragon Ball, and it's fun and I love it. So much. I'm trying to think of any childhood memories. I remember playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 more than that. I can't think of a game that I put more hours into than Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I love all of the Dragon Ball games, and I know we're here to celebrate Toriyama, and Toriyama did not necessarily, he didn't make the games, he didn't, but it's still his characters and his world, and I loved playing in that world. I loved being in that world. I loved opening up the manga and immediately being transported into his world. Even the anime is still an adaptation, right? Toriyama's pen in the manga, what he created with Dragon Ball, and I can't believe I'm making this video, by the way. Toriyama's only 68. Dude had so much. This is a quote from Neo GameSpark, who put this on Twitter. Toriyama gave so much, and from the looks of things, he had so much more to give. And I agree. This is clearly too early. If this was 10 years from now, I don't want to say I'd be okay with it, but I would say, you know what? I think that Toriyama, I think that this is a good time. Maybe even 1 or 2 years from now, maybe. I think that right now, when, my goodness, Sandland movie is coming out, Sandland video game is coming out, Sandland the sequel anime series is coming out, Dragon Ball is hitting its biggest stride it's had in the last 10 years, with Daima, and this being the most excited Toriyama has been working on Dragon Ball in years. This is the most excited he's been. And not only was he working on Daima, according to the article that was released on the day of his, not on the day of his death, but on the 7th, which is when they stated his death, they said that he was in the middle of working on a plethora of other projects. And it is something that is unfair, I think. When I first heard about it, I kept asking myself, why him? I kept asking myself, why Toriyama? Out of anybody, why Toriyama? Dude was again, everyone said it already. Toriyama was a legend. Toriyama was able to do the impossible. Toriyama, man, think about it. Think of it as like a family tree in a way, right? You start with 2 people, and it just spreads, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Except in this example, it's going to start with 1 person, and that's Toriyama. I'm not going to say Toriyama wasn't inspired by others either. I mean, for crying out loud, Dragon Ball is literally based off of A Journey to the West. Obviously, Toriyama was inspired by others. But Toriyama created not just Dragon Ball, but Dr. Slump, for example. You want to talk about Dragon Ball as your childhood. Well, what else was in your childhood? How about the Mario Brothers, right? Super Mario? Super Mario's character design and his run cycle were inspired by Toriyama because of Arale-chan from Dr. Slump, which was a Toriyama creation. The original 151 Pokemon, a majority of their designs, not all, a majority of their designs were based and inspired by Toriyama's monster designs from Dragon Quest. And it's not just, it's more than, and you know, Naruto, we all love Naruto, wouldn't exist without Dragon Ball, wouldn't exist without Toriyama. One Piece would not exist without Toriyama. Did you guys know that Bleach, Tite Kubo, actually submitted Bleach to Shonen Jump and it got rejected? Tite Kubo was going to throw it away. He was going to scrap it. He was like, they rejected it. It's not a good idea. Toriyama told him no, to resubmit. Toriyama encouraged him. Toriyama told him, this is a good idea. I love the idea. I love the concept. Resubmit. So he did. And it got approved. And now, Tite Kubo's writing Bleach. Well, not now, but back then. Right? Think about that. And, I don't know. I've been thinking about this for what? A while, like 2 days. It's all I've been able to think about. I'll wake up thinking everything was a bad dream. I will go to the gym and I can't stop thinking about Toriyama. I'll go to I was on set today and I couldn't focus. All I could think about was Toriyama. This is hard. This is the most hard time that I've ever had to go through as far as losing somebody. And that's, look at that how you will. Maybe I'm grateful, that I haven't experienced that many other losses, but this is one that really hurts. Guys, I made a video about Kevin Conroy, right? Kevin Conroy hurt. Stan Lee, we lost Stan Lee. Stan Lee hurt. Very big. Loved Stan Lee. Carrie Fisher passed. Princess Leia, made a video on her as well. Loved her performance as Princess Leia. But I think that Akira Toriyama is the biggest loss in mainstream celebrityism or whatever that we've had in a long time. Toriyama impacted people that he'll never meet, that he will never know their success, and he will never know that they owe their success to him. And even if he was still alive, he wouldn't know. Because here's the thing, you guys, about Toriyama. Toriyama was a hermit. Toriyama never left his house. Toriyama, even in this day and age, 2024, Toriyama never goes online. He doesn't have a Facebook. He doesn't have a Twitter. He doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't have anything. He uses email only in 2024. Barely uses his cell phone. Only for business phone calls. And maybe familial things, correct? There was no way of him to know any of us. I mean, he found out eventually that Dragon Ball was inspiring a lot of people in his own country, in Japan. And I'm sure he probably knew, like, because of that, like, oh, my work is inspiring people all over the world. But as far as this personal, face to face, like, Toriyama will never know that I sat in my car this morning and cried for 15-20 minutes for him. And he's never met me. He doesn't know me. He'll never know me. And I sat there and I cried for this man. He'll never know the impact he had on me. He'll never know the impact he had on everybody. Again, don't forget, it was 2015 when Resurrection F came out? When Toei finally realized, like, man, maybe we got an audience overseas. Like, dude, you've had an audience overseas. What are you talking about? But that just goes to show you what they know, right? That just goes to show you. And if they didn't know, if Toei didn't know, what makes you guys think Toriyama knew? Right? Maybe sometime past 2015, Toriyama knew. Toriyama was informed. Maybe Toriyama found out. But it's crazy that he impacted so many people, and nobody, and he will never meet those people that he impacted. Imagine being a man like Toriyama, one man, and you completely changed the game. You completely captured everyone's hearts to the point where when you die, the world weeps. The world weeps. Let me tell you guys something. When I was feeling emotional about Toriyama, when I first found out, I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. Like, I'm serious, my body went numb. I was numb, you guys, when I first found out about Toriyama. I was on the phone with Black and Fist. I was numb. I couldn't feel my arms. I couldn't feel my chest. I couldn't feel a lot in me. Again, it's been a couple days, and it's still not easy. Again, there's still like 10% of me that's like, man, I'm waiting for that tweet. I'm waiting for that news article to come in and say, hey, everybody, Toriyama's fine. Toriyama's okay. He's going to make it. And I just, man, what a loss. What a loss. Toriyama and Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball especially. Look at my phone has been Dragon Ball wallpapers since high school. I'm 28 now. I turned 29 this year. So for the better half of 15 years, I had nothing but Dragon Ball wallpaper on my phone. Usually for whatever was coming up next, like the newest thing. That's why I have Daima wallpaper artwork currently. But I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, you guys. This is not something that's going to take me, or this is something that's going to take me a while to get over. It really hurts. It really hurts. So, please share your memories down below about Akira Toriyama. Please. Tell me everything about how he impacted you, about your favorite childhood memory, about your favorite Goku action figure, about your favorite video game, about your favorite scene from the anime, about your favorite scene from the manga. Tell me why you love this man, and explain to me what he means to you. I would appreciate that. Nobody has to do anything, but if you comment, I would appreciate those comments. Toriyama has shape me for the better. I mean, look at me. I'm a voice actor. I work at Crunchyroll. A lot of that inspiration for me, in order for me to do that, came from, man, what if I got to be in Dragon Ball one day? Like, don't get me wrong, I love being in Gundam. I love being in Fist of the North Star. I love being in One Piece. I love being in Blue Lock. I love being in half the stuff I've been in. I would sacrifice all of it to be in Dragon Ball. All of it. I would sacrifice every role. I would sacrifice every anime I've ever been in. I'd sacrifice all of them to have one Walla, one bit in Dragon Ball. To be a part of this man's world would be incredible. But anyways, you guys, like I said, this has not been very easy for me. This is completely unscripted, and I'm not okay. This one hurts. This one really hurts. Yeah, this one hurts. But I'll see you guys in the next one.